Hello and welcome back on my channel Sheet Metal Workshop, and in this video I like to show you how to make a trunnion. It's like a T-pipe coming on a segment band, and well, that is what it's all about in this video. Just gonna show how to make the template, and you already can see the end result of it, so let's have a start. Okay, so now I have here in front of me a sketch I've made already, and this is here the band. It's got a diameter of 190 millimeter, radius 130, and it's made out of 3 parts. And then we have here the trunnion coming. It's a smaller diameter. It's got 150 millimeter. And from the end of the trunnion until the center of the pipe, we have 195 millimeters. And then from center of the band until the end of the band, we have 180, and here also 180. Okay, that means the trunnion is exactly on the center line, and for that what we do is I have here already here the band, and what I need to do is next is I need an exact side view of it, actually a 1-to-1. So this is how I'm gonna draw it, a side view of it, and therefore I'm going to mark here first 100 millimeter line, working line first. Okay, so the radius is 130 and we have a distance of 180. That means the 180 minus radius is 50 millimeters. So that's 50 millimeter. If I have here my band and 130 is the radius, so this is here my half segment, then it is plus 50 millimeters. So I'm going to give here also already plus 50 millimeter. Okay, now next what I'm going to do, so this is the plus 50, and now from this line, this is my 0 line, also plus 50. Okay, so now this is now my angle, 90-degree angle, and this is my point 0. Now from this point out I go the radius, so the radius we said was 130 millimeters, so I go 130, and the diameter was 190, so 95 is half. So now I can here drag over here the center from this. And I'm gonna take here the diameter. And now from the 0 point, I take this point here, the outside diameter, and drag it over here. Same thing with the center line and the inside radius. Okay, so here I can already make a circle. That's the diameter of my band. So what I'm doing next is I'm gonna pull up here first those lines. Okay, so this is how it should look like. It is exactly the on it, so we're good. Now, if you look at this band, I need 2 full segments and 2 half segments. So the 2 full segments are in the middle, and here we have a half segment, here we have a half segment. So I have here a 45-degree line, so I'm going to first divide here this angle and put in a line of 45 degrees to split this corner in two. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take here the radius, and then I'm going to put it here on this point, and just like you divide always a circle, I'm just going to mark here this little bit, and this piece here then I'll take it also another time in the bow divider and swipe it from here, and this side also. So if I go now back again here on this, see, that is my radius, then here, see, got exactly divided. So now I have here half segment, full, and a half segment. So just now pull the lines. Okay, now next what we do is we can already connect here this one. So almost there. Now again you take again the bow divider, and now also again from here 0 point I'm going here to this point here where it touches. See, so that must be here same, and now I'm just here mark it, and again connecting it. Okay, now so far so good. So what I need next is I have, because it's a smaller diameter, 150. So I'm gonna now take here 75 millimeter in my bow divider and make here a quarter circle and divide that circle also. And now we're going 90 degrees, so I'm gonna turn the metal. We pull those 4 points, one, two, three, actually, and the fourth is already there, so up where it touches the big circle. So these are now my points. And now I'm gonna pull up those points 90 degrees up until the first angle here. So these are now all in position, and what we do next is I'm gonna copy over from the 0 point, this point here, and drag these on the other lines, and the same I'm going to do also with these two. Okay, so now we dragged all over those lines. So what we're going to do now, and the band is like this, so I'm going to turn it, so that's the position of the band, and the T-pipe or the trunnion comes under it. So the isometrics from the center of the pipe until the end of the trunnion is 195 millimeter. So the center of the pipe is here. This is the line, the center line. We go 195 millimeter down, and I'm gonna mark it here. So what I do next is I'm gonna put a line 90 degrees, and now from the other side of the bend is this here, the center line. I also go down 90 degrees, and I can already here pull this line. And now I'm gonna draw here my diameter of 150. So I'm gonna take here 75. And again here, divide it. Okay, now, next thing, we're going to pull up those lines. So the first line touches here also the first line. And the second line goes also on this second line. And the third one also, so 1, 2, 3 until there. And the fourth one comes here. Okay, well that is here now a little bit. That is here my point 4. And then we go back. So this is the outside line, and now we go back one line. Okay, so now these are now my points. We have here this edge, this difference, but because they're both on the same line, so that means you have here the bend, and one point is here and the other one is on the swage, so they are both on 0. So there we don't change anything. But here we have here a difference. This one is higher, so I'm gonna mark also that little one here. Okay, now next thing what we're going to do is we're going to number it. So we're going to start here with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And here, actually, that is here on the swage where a little bit the break point comes, that we call B break point. Okay. So now we have everything we need. We have the sizes. And next thing what we're going to do is we're going to drag it over on a template. Okay, so now I have already a metal, and it's the circumference of 150 millimeter diameter. So I have here 471 millimeter plus 2 times 50 millimeter overlap. So I'm gonna give here 25 millimeter working line. Okay, now I want to have the seam here on the side. So the side, so this is here the smaller point, and this is here the back. So here's the back, and we want to have our seam on number 4 for the template. That means I'm going to start here at the beginning with number 4. Then we go backwards. 3, 2, 1, and then we go back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Okay. Now what we only need to do first is to drag over point B, and point B is between 4 and 5, so I'm gonna take here, because B is really small to take it in the bow divider, so I'm gonna take from 5 to B, and then here on the template, this is 5 going to the 4, so in this direction, here, and here. So these are my two lines that falls on the swage, on the angle. Okay, now we're good to go. We're gonna drag now over those points, like we do usual in all other videos also. So every time it's got the same method. So number 1, 1, and then number 2 we go 2 times, and so I go on and on until my template is done. Okay, now only point is left is B. Okay, it's a really minimum. What? Okay, that will do. Good. Now next step is to connect the line. So I've cut it out now, and I go really smoothly a little bit beside it, so I can always correct it later. So the template is now done, and what I'm going to do is here I'm gonna mark some holes. Okay, so template is done, and I wanted to make it out of 2 parts, so I already have here 2 metal. So I have here those 2 metals, and they are already cut on size. So these are half diameter, so it's going also to have overlap, both sides 50 millimeter. Okay, so now I'm gonna put here on my template, and I'm gonna make here number 4 also 1 hole, and this comes down here on the 0 line, like here, 0, and now I can here look through the hole. Okay, so I've got it. So what I'm doing next is I'm gonna give here swage allowance, stretch allowance for stretching the metal. Okay, so here is that break point. Okay, so now I'm gonna put here in 2 side swagers and I'm gonna round it. So here I'm gonna just snip it here a little bit. That is about here. Okay, so what I can do here to avoid swaging double material, I'm gonna cut here a little bit out. Okay, now the tronier is almost done, so this is the way it should fit from under, looking it like this, right here. So I've marked here where the swage comes, same thing at the other side. Okay, so let's make a stretch. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to cut the other side out. Okay, so now both sides are now cut out and now we can start. Okay, I think that looks good enough. Let's have a look. Okay, that's the way it should fit. So now normally you can also, before you put in the swage, mark it here exactly on the bend and do the cutout, because sometimes the flat swage comes underneath the metal, depends if it is outside, inside. In this video I want to show it here how it's done from the outside, but it's also possible to put it under the metal, the flat swage. So I'm gonna now drill here a couple of holes. So I think it's in the right position here now. And here we go a little bit here with the hammer. Okay, well, that's it. I mean, I only put 2 screws. You can here also put in another screw. But that's the end result. Okay, so this is it. So now I have the need to check. So the screw here is the center, and see, I have here 195 millimeter. So that's it. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video, and just another job finished from the to-do list. See you in the next video.